Hey guys, hope all are doing well. This is Vinod. RCL, Royal Caribbean Cruises. This was offered to you, this was suggested to you, and the chart was very clear in terms of the positive strength, not only in terms of the positive strength, even in terms of the results. We suggested that this particular stock can eventually break upside, right? And finally it crossed 47. Now 45, 47 definitely seems to be a decent level right now in RCL. Some people have already used this view and made some money. Congratulations to all of them who have believed in us and understood the strength of this particular security, and maybe there are some people are still in holding position, so they are in profit. Some have booked your profit, so congratulations to them. Now what made these particular details of that particular security positive? Now, let me try to explain few things about RCL, right? Now, let us see what parameters really constitute the best performance for a particular security. Now, this is RCL and I've put all the fundamental data in a particular sheet. So now you can see like what makes this particular security more suitable for investing, right? Now, if you see the RCL, if you see the earnings per share, right? It's growing at a rate of 28.8% CAGR. This I've taken the late data from last 10 years, that is from 2009 to 2020, right? And this particular security has been very good in terms of EPS and in terms of profit also. If you see, it's been growing at 28.5% CAGR. That's a very good growth, right? And the stock is at a very low valuation, and in between even the performance was not good for a couple of years, but still the security has quoted a very good PE ratio. That means the price is showing some sort of a stability in this particular security. Now let's come down to a couple of other things. Debt equity ratio. In the recent past, if you could see the debt equity, that is the loans, the company has increased its loan levels, debts, but still it is permissible levels. 1.2 is reasonably good enough. Now ROE is one particular thing which has been very volatile, that is the return on equity. So this particular thing is slightly definitely a concern, but in the last few years when there was no coronavirus issues or any other issues, it's been well between 10 to 16, so that's good enough for the security. Now another point is, even in 2009 2010 or so, when there was a problem, the security has been in a growing trajectory later once the problem has been resolved. That means the management is resilient enough to fight the problems and then pull it up. Even dividend, which we all keep watching on, there is a consistent growth in the dividend the company is considering to the shareholders. So that means the company is not only making profits but is also keeping the shareholders happy about this particular performance, and then they are also sharing this particular profits. Now the point is, we need to look at the other parameters. If you see let us take the cash flows. If you see in the recent past, the cash flows have been good enough, and it's been consistent enough and decent enough in the last few years, right? And it's growing at a compounded growth rate of 8.37%. That's okay. Now even the book value CAGR, it's growing at a 4.5% rate in the book value. This is maybe one of the reasons why there is a stable and consistent growth in terms of the price of the security in the market. Now the price to book is at a very lowest price, right? That means the current price in the market compared to its net worth or its book value seems to be very low. That means reasonable enough. Still, looking into the past record of this particular security, seems to be 5 and 20 price range seems to be a best range for accumulation of this particular security, aiming that after this coronavirus issue, the management is so resilient, like the previous time, this time also they can pull around this particular company well, and then again put it on the growth trajectory. Now, even the EPS versus the P ratio, right? The EPS has been decent enough, but the P ratio, because of this highest P ratio in 2013, the graph seems to be very flat, but it's not actually flat. It ranges from almost 1 time the PE to almost 7 to 8 times the PE, right? P is price earnings ratio. So how is the market price with respect to the earnings is very important. Definitely this quarter, next quarter, the earnings are going to come down. But whenever the earnings are coming down, the history shows that the P is rising, right? And when the earnings per share is growing, then the P is coming down. That keeps the security a little safer in terms of the market price of the security. However, the price which seems to be very comfortable for the security is around 5 to $20 to invest in this particular security, hoping that this particular company can turn around once the coronavirus issues are sorted out and the company comes back into the growth trajectory, and this possibility is very, very good and decent enough. Now for the traders. The traders, those who want to do day-to-day trading in this particular security, the daily volatility is around $2 to $4 per day, and a monthly volatility is between $9 to $10 as per the current data. This volatility details keep changing from time to time based on the performance of the particular security in the recent past, right? Now, all these are the fundamental data which was making us comfortable to go for this particular security. This is the first point. And the second point is that the pattern in the chart is looking decent enough to expect some more upside. And when we discussed, it was somewhere around 43, 44, you could see the price, and today it's around 48, 49, and it's almost touched around 50 yesterday, right? So this is how, we need to analyze using all this particular data.